obviously was disappointed. Yeah, I was disappointed, and but yeah, there's nothing we can do. You know, what's done is done, and just try and focus on, well, this last week. We still got a strong team, and yeah, it's like losing a rider. Well, yeah, we're a rider down, but yeah, I think all the boys will rally together now and bring us together.
Geraint, would you be disappointed personally not to win the Tour de France in this position?
Well, I think, like I said before, I won 2 mountain stages back to back, right? That's just nuts for me. Obviously, the closer you get, the more you want to stay on the podium. Winning is still nothing I'm really thinking about. Honestly, really, I'm just thinking day by day. Coming here, like the dream was like to be in with a shot of getting a podium, so still on the cards, which is good. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep the same mindset as I have done from the start.
Just tell us a little bit about how the tactics are decided. Do you have any input? Does Chris have a lot of input, or is it purely the directors?
Well, Nico has the call at the end of the day. He's the boss, but obviously he comes and speaks to us and asks us our opinion, and he obviously has his ideas and he decides at the end of the day. But I think it's been working really well so far, and hopefully we can continue that.
Chris, will you not attack Geraint Thomas if he's stronger than you?
Say again?
Will you not attack your teammate if Geraint's in yellow?
I think, all this talk about attacking, not attacking, we're in this amazing position. We're first and second on the general classification, and it's not up to us to be attacking. It's for all other riders in the peloton to try and make up time on us and dislodge us from the position that we're in.
So does that mean you're willing to sacrifice your ambitions to support him?
As long as there's a Team Sky rider on that top step in Paris, I'm happy.
Hey Chris, what did you make of the Moscon incident yesterday, and when did you find out? Did you find out during the stage, and what's your reaction?
No, we all found out after the race when we were back in the hotel this evening, and yeah, as G said, I think the whole team's incredibly disappointed. Disappointed in Gianni's actions, and disappointed to be a man down for the last week.
Does this hurt Team Sky in France, with, all the anti-Sky stuff we've seen the last few weeks?
Well, it's certainly not going to help. But at the same time, I think in terms of the team we've been managing really well on the road the last few weeks, even though at times it hasn't been easy. But we get on with it and hopefully get the job done all the way to Paris. Yep.
Chris, and also for both of you, you've come a long way together. It's 2008, 2009, even I guess, World War. How would you describe your relation, and can you give us a bit of insight maybe, or take us back to the World War times? I guess you never thought or even dreamt about a situation like this back in the days, or what?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal in a way, thinking back to when we both started out on Barlow World back in 2008, 2009 for me. I don't think either of us would have believed we would be sitting here today in the position that we're in. Myself having won 4 tours and going into the last week of this Tour de France as first and second on the general classification. I don't think either of us would have believed it back then. But this is the dream. This is a dream any young cyclist would aspire to be in this position, and I think it's great that we're making it happen.
And about the connection, because you've been a long time, but I don't know, maybe there's not even place for friendship in cycling. I don't know how it works out.
No, yeah, we're good mates. We, like you say, we've ridden in the same team for a number of years now. Must be 10 or maybe even 11. And yeah, we've generally lived in the same areas as well, so we've always trained together, and we just get on for now anyway.
Chris, you've won 3 Grand Tours in a row. If you win this, it'll be your 5th Tour de France. Are you really willing to sacrifice the chance to do that for one of your teammates?
Yep.
Chris?
Geraint, would you be willing to ride another Grand Tour with Jenny Moscon on the team?
Well, that's not really my position to, you know, I have my race program and what I, you know, set out my goals and whatever. And then if he's selected, then wouldn't really have much say on that anyway. So it's more something for the team.
Chris, if you have a tough day and you drop back, do you expect Geraint to come back and assist you?
No.
And the same applies vice versa? Does it work the other way around?
If
If you have a tough day, do you expect in yellow, do you expect that Chris is?
no. I think, like Froome said, it's all about winning this race, and as long as one of us wins, that's the main thing.
Chris, would the dream scenario be going to the time trial near enough neck and neck where you could just go for it, contra no mantra, and the best man wins the Tour de France in that scenario?
I think the dream scenario for us would be to be going into that time trial as we are first and second on general classification, but with a decent gap on any of our other rivals, that we're not, the actual victory isn't in jeopardy on that last time trial. And with Tom Dumoulin and what's his name? Sorry, Roglic, Primož Roglic in fourth as well. Two very strong time trialists. That's a concern, obviously.
How much do you need from both of you on Tom Dumoulin?
You can't say what kind of day he's going to have. You can't say what kind of day we're going to have. But the more of a buffer you can have, the better it's going to be, obviously.
11 is not that comfortable on second.
Probably not that comfortable to the world champion time trialist, no. I mean, I knew obviously he was in great shape after the Dauphiné, and I mean he's ridden a flawless race, so yeah.
One from the back.
Yeah, I mean, I think as we saw how he attacked on Mont the other day, he's obviously feeling good coming into this second part of the race. He's extremely talented time trialist, so we've got to take him seriously, and he's there.
Question for both, for Chris and for G. Concerning what happened to Gianni yesterday, in your opinion, do you think that with this behavior, in a certain way, he betrayed the confidence that the team and you as in him, and if you think that the possibility that the team after the tour could fire him is a concrete possibility or not, we are going to be about this?
Just for us, you know, we're just bike riders. We don't choose who comes and goes in the team. That's something for the management. But yeah, like we said, we're just disappointed to lose him and for his actions, obviously.
Chris, en français si possible, vous avez été dans la position de Geraint d'essayer de gagner son premier Tour de France. Vous avez envie de gagner le cinquième. Qu'est-ce qui est le plus fort? Comment ça va se passer cette semaine?
Maintenant, Geraint, il est devant.
Oui.
Il est devant et c'est pas un problème chez nous. C'est impeccable que premier, deuxième sur le classement général. Si on arrive en Paris sur même temps, c'est super.
Lequel devant?
On verra, ça manque une semaine de course. Les Pyrénées sont très durs cette prochaine bloc de course. Mais oui, on verra.
Question to you both. What do you think about the very short and special stage on Wednesday? What do you expect?
Yeah, I think it's going to be it's unique. It's going to be tough for sure, but you know, I think we expect a lot of attacks from the start, but you know, it's a big day. Probably one of the hardest climbs, the final climb. Finishes at altitude like 2,300 or something, so a long day. So yeah, you can't get too carried away at the start, that's for sure, but I'm sure it'll be exciting to watch.
Vous êtes venu pour gagner un 5e Tour de France après 2 semaines. Est-ce qu'on peut dire que Geraint est votre principal adversaire pour réaliser votre rêve?
Non, c'est pas mon avis. Sur maillot Sky, passer la ligne devant, je suis content.
Geraint, can you just give us a preview of the
So we've seen all three, the finals of them all anyway. Obviously it's a tough little finish tomorrow with the descent down. I can't remember the name of the town, but yeah, the descent to the finish, and then obviously the short stage, which is tough. And then the last one with, you know, there's a lot of climbing. It's quite a long day, do Tourmalet and everything. Obisque, and down into the finish there. So it's the Alps block was probably tougher as you know, it was 3 days back to back, whereas we get a sprint day into Po. But I think it's going to be yeah, war out there.
Is it the short stage? Is that going to be the most decisive as you feel you were capable?
Yeah, I think it'll be it's the last mountain top, and I think it'll be the most decisive.
Yeah, at the back.
Geraint, at what point in your development did you feel you were capable of winning a Grand Tour, and why?
Well, last year I was confident I could perform. It just didn't go to plan. You know, I had a lot of bad luck last year with the Giro and things. But yeah, I think just my progression over my career has just been, you know, especially since leaving the track behind, it's been better and better year by year. And yeah, you know, you start off with smaller stage races and building up, you know, Pyrenees, Dauphiné, all adds to confidence and belief in yourself as well. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Last couple now.
Geraint,
Is the week ahead, especially with catching on the stage, suit one of you more than the other? Knowing your position at the moment.
Wouldn't say so.
Geraint, can you give us an idea of what you've learned from Chris, watching him win the Grand Tours that he had?
I think obviously the training with him most of the time you learn a lot, but the main thing is just his mental strength really, and his attitude, and his you know, never say die, and just sort of just super strong in the head, and how he deals with everything that is thrown at you at this race. And that's the most impressive thing for sure.
You've both ridden against a guy like Tom Dumoulin a lot of times. What's he like as an adversary, and how well do you know him on a personal level?
He's obviously a very different type of rider to ride against compared to a lot of my rivals in the past. Guys like Contador, Quintana, even Nibali, for example. He comes, I'd say he's almost the way I view it is he's a time trialist who's learnt and trained himself to come into Grand Tour riding. So even the way he approaches the climbs and the mountaintop finishes, he's quite happy to drop off sometimes a few meters behind the main group when there's big accelerations. He keeps things very steady, and to me he seems more calculated. He understands maybe the numbers a bit more, and doesn't ride necessarily on just feelings alone. He's more calculated and more planned, and that certainly makes it. It's a very different dynamic racing against Tom compared to a lot of other guys.
Okay, this is the last one now.
Chris over here. With these guys, you're quite keen on the overthinking of plans, like we saw on the Sinestro, etc. Can you tell us or make sure that this is not a plan on forehand? With you coming in yellow very late, so you won't get not all the booing, not all the pressure.
Well, I've yeah, certainly had my fair share until now, but well, might be.
Okay, guys, thank you.